And good morning once again. This is Jamie with MyTarot.org. And what are we doing? We're doing our daily inventory. We are doing our daily reflection. We're kind of just reaching out to the universe and see if there's any tips or tricks, anything that's going on. Maybe things that we might want to look at this morning before we get out into the real world, or if it's evening where you are, afternoon, whenever. But it's just a chance to remind ourselves to take a break and take a breath, which is why I always recommend finding a light switch for yourself. For me, I've been doing this for so many years that when I hear the cards now, I just always tell myself, because I do it in meditation, that I'm listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. So I think it's important to have a ritual that says, all right, the world's gone nuts. I'm going to ring a bell, light a candle, turn off this light. Whatever it is, you do it long enough, and then you do something relaxing, and it becomes automatic. The body just kind of takes over. So, here we are, comfortable, feet flat on the floor, butt comfortable in the seat, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. Now we're going to reach out to the universe and see if anything interesting is going on. It's amazing how attached you can become to like a deck of cards. I've had this deck of cards for a long time. And I got another convert deck. It's a copy of the 1700, a deck from the 1700s. And I know this one's going to wear out eventually, but I am going to miss this deck. So, what am I going to do here? I'm going to make 3 different stacks. Each one of these is a different thread going out to the universe. Each one is a different thought or a different idea, or if you believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these stacks is a different path, because this stack is going to lead to one conversation compared to this one or this one. And whichever path we choose, there's 2 conversations that we are not going to have. That have a whole different range of possibilities. I love that. I'm going to go with what's right in the center, which is the heart. So, I'm going to do our 3-in-1. And as I always say, I'm going to flip them over one card at a time, so that we read them together like a book, each one of these a different page. And every now and then I like to remind myself that it's just like life, where it's like I think I know exactly where the cards are going. You know, it's like I've got it all planned out, the future, what's going to happen, and then you flip over the last page of a book and it's like changes everything. So that's why it's good to just not assume the worst, because we never know until the end. Oh, and today we have the King of Coins. So I may go ahead and relate in a short bit what this might mean for me, because there's some good news coming on. But what do we have here? We have the King. And kings are the ones that take charge of a situation. They're the ones that plan. They're the ones that make sure things happen. And again, cards are gender neutral, so it's the masculine energy, feminine energy. But this is that person that makes things happen. And court cards can be us or somebody else. Coins are about home, health, finance. So we can see where this is going, and we can see that he is looking towards the future. So the question is what is he looking at? He's looking at the Chariot. So the Chariot is all about self-will. The Chariot is, I mean, if you look at this guy, he's got these two horses that aren't even tethered. And yet he can move this chariot just on self-will alone. Even though they want to pull in different directions, they're all going the same direction. So this is about making things happen. And that can be good or bad. But just between these two right here, it's about making a decision and then making it happen. But let's see what this card is. Roi de Bâton. It's the King of Wands. So, again, that king, but wands are fire and energy, movement, creativity, passion. Wands the element of fire. Coins are the element of earth. And so you can see that they are two different aspects of ourselves. One of them is about having our feet firmly planted on the ground, which is this one, and going slow, steady, making sure things happen at a particular order, compared to the King of Wands, which is I'm going to make things happen, and it's fire, and it's activity, and it's movement, and it's excitement and passion. So I'm curious about this card here, because sometimes like this could be moving from saying, all right, we've waited long enough, we've done all our patience, we've done everything, now it's time to just make things happen and become that fire and energy. But sometimes when we have multiple court cards, it could also be a battle between ourselves, or if it's somebody else, it could be a family matter with two people kind of going at it. And in a situation like this, with a major in the middle, is it a scale? Are we making a decision? And that's why we don't prejudge until we flip over our last card, which is the Six of Coins. So 6 is about harmony, improvement, things getting better. And I like to just remind people, it's the way that I look at the numerology in the tarot, 1 through 10, it's a race. 1 is that seed you've planted. 9 is when you finally win the race. 10 is what you do with your winnings, because it's a 1 and a 0. In the middle is the 5s. And that's when you're cresting the hill, because you're right in the middle and you have a decision to make. Do I want to keep going? And that's when you're struggling. That's where you might be tired. Then you finally crest the hill and you reach the 6. And that's where you might have something to give to people, because it's like you have the experience, you've gone through the tough times. You've seen where people have struggled because you've struggled yourself to get over those 5s. And so the 6s is about sharing, giving. Sometimes it's also about the other end, where it's like we finally are at that crest, and maybe we need to be willing to accept the help of somebody else. But what I'm seeing here is the coming together of parts of ourselves. Between home, things that need to be done, and then making sure things get done. And then what do we want to do with this? We want to celebrate what we've done. We want to make sure these final things get done, which is self-will. So I'm looking at the king, and I'm looking here and saying, I'm just going to finally make things done so that I can celebrate I can have that fun again. I can have that passion in my life. And what this card is saying is that not only that, but we need to remember to celebrate and share with other people. So yes, life is very serious. We need to get our bills paid for. We need to do what we have to do. Sometimes we just need to buckle down to do it. We're looking at this almost like a timeline here. Here, we're the older King of Coins. But then, when we get up off our butts, we get the stuff done, we force ourselves, and we make things happen with a goal that says, you know what? It's time to enjoy a little bit. It's time to have some passion in my life. It's time to just check these things off. They're all looking at the future here. And once we do this, then we need to remember, I've crested that hill. I've taken care of these things. Now it's time to give back. I have some of that fire and energy back. What can I give? Because these are kings. The kings, these are saying we all have something that we are the kings of, that we master. Sometimes we just need to put on, we need to just make a decision. This card is about making a decision and then doing it. And this is all about the rewards afterwards. So today, what is it that we are just being the King of Coins with? We make sure things happen. We pay the bills. Is there something that we've been putting off that weighs on us so much that when I'm not taking care of me, the world is all about me. When I'm not taking care of me, the world is all about me. When I take care of me, then I have something for others. And that's all this is saying, is that trying to get out of ourselves and saying, I've done something here, even if it's something small, but now it's time to remember. It's like, you know what? We bought this house, or we pay this car payment, or we work 80 hours a week just so that we can afford to maybe occasionally show that creative fire and energy side. And when we remember that and the joy of like helping others and giving back, then it's no longer about me. It's about us. And then that always feels good. And so, with that, it's about taking care of ourselves and remembering to have fun. And remembering that we're not the only one in our orbit. Because it does feel good to remember. It's like, all right, if I can take care of this, then, oh yeah, I know somebody who's struggling also. Let's go have a party. Let's go pull them out of their stuff. And so with that, I am going to do a responsible thing today, because I might be a grandfather. That's where I was seeing where this was going. And so I am doing the responsible thing by still going to work today, even though my daughter-in-law is in the hospital right now. They've induced labor. All looks well. But I'm going to do the next right thing, which is go to work, give a training class. I'm going to force myself to do this. And then I'm going to go and be that King of Wands and go celebrate after I've taken care of my responsibilities at the office. So thanks again. And I will... Oh, hello, ghost babies. I like that. So thank you again. And have an amazing day. Have an amazing evening or week, wherever you are. And I will be back here again tomorrow. Oh, thank you. I know, isn't that exciting? I am very excited. So, please take care of yourselves, and I will let you know how things are going tomorrow.